everybody. We're going to enter into the public hearing portion of tonight's meeting. This is a public hearing before the Boston Redevelopment Authority, doing business as the Boston Planning and Development Agency, being held in conformance with Article 80D-5.4C of the Boston Zoning Code to consider the proposed First Amendment to the Boston University Charles River Campus 2024 through 2026 Institutional Master Plan. This hearing was duly advertised on April 24th, 2025 in the Boston Herald. This is a BPDA hearing on a proposed petition by the agency. Staff members will first present their case and are subject to questioning by members of the agency. Thereafter, anyone who wishes to testify about the proposed project will be afforded an opportunity. We are taking support and opposition at the same time, so if you're planning to testify via Zoom, please take time now that your microphone to verify that your microphone is active. Click on the hand icon on your Zoom control panel. This will signal to the staff that you would like to speak, and when your hand is raised, it will be blue. If you're calling into the meeting and would like to testify, please dial *9 to raise your hand. When I call for all testimony, staff will announce your name and allow you to talk. You must unmute your microphone at that time, and your webcam will not be active. If you're planning to testify in person in the boardroom, please line up behind the podium after the presentation has concluded, and we will call on you. In an effort to accommodate all who would like to speak about this proposal, each person will be given up to 2 minutes to comment. BPDA staff will indicate when 30 seconds remain, and at that time, please conclude your remarks so that the hearing may continue and others may be heard. Finally, the proponents are allowed a period of 5 to 10 minutes for rebuttal if they so desire. Quinn.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board, Secretary Polimas. My name is Quinn Valsich. I'm a Senior Project Manager in the Development Review Division here at the Planning Department. The proposal before you tonight is for the First Amendment to the current 2-year Boston University Institutional Master Plan located in the Fenway neighborhood. On February 12th, 2025, BU filed an IMP amendment for the Charles River campus to include the property at 13 Buswell Street into their institutional portfolio. BU is not proposing any changes to the structure or use of the property at this time. Now I'll turn it over to the BU team to give a brief presentation, and thank you to all the members of the public, elected officials, and city agencies who helped the review of this project. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Chair Rojas, members of the board, Secretary Polimas, and Director Shen. I am Greg Snyder, Vice President of Campus Planning and Operations at Boston University. And on behalf of the university, I am seeking approval for the First Amendment of the 2024 to 2026 Charles River Campus Institutional Master Plan. The university acquired the 6,000 square foot residential building in the fall of 2024, located at 13 Buswell Street in the university's South Campus near Audubon Circle. The university plans to make life safety and security upgrades, add the university IT network, and paint and refresh spaces while also ensuring the building's windows, roof, and masonry are in good shape. If approved to be included in our institutional master plan, the university will acquire a dormitory license to house approximately 23 undergraduate students, consistent with the existing occupancy of abutting buildings. The expected occupancy is in August 2025. Thank you.
Thank you. Was that the conclude the presentation? Oh, okay. Great. Questions or comments? Oh, no. Wait, it's a public hearing. Thank you. All right, so it's a public hearing. We'll take public comments first and then move on to board questionings. So if there's anyone who would like to testify in public, please.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Secretary Polimas, members of the board. My name is Pam Beal. My address is 462 Beacon Street, and I'm here this evening in my capacity as chair of the Boston University Community Task Force to express support for the First Amendment to the 2024 to 2026 Institutional Master Plan outlining the purchase of 13 Buswell Street. The meetings for this amendment were well run by Tyler Ross, and if he was here, I would thank him personally today. And the acquisition of the 13 Buswell Street was well received by the task force and all the community members in attendance. Accordingly, I would like to urge you to vote in support of this evening. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. Minor Perez representing the Carpenters Union. I'd like to go on record in strong support of Boston University's proposal. For many years, the Carpenters Union, we have many of our members work, provide for their families due to their projects, and because of the gratitude that we want to express tonight by supporting them. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else who would like to provide testimony? If so, please come to the podium.
Or if you're online, please raise your virtual hand.
Okay.
Nobody?
All right, we're not seeing anything. All right, so that concludes the public testimony portion. We'll now move on to board questioning. Questions or comments from the board?
Do you have a name of the dorm picked out yet?
If we could have a donor, we'd be happy to name it after that donor. Most of Boston University addresses we usually go by the address for the locations.
Gotcha. I'm just thinking, I remember a mentor to me and many in this room, the late great Tom Menino, an esteemed professor. I think his office was not too far from there when he was working for you folks in retirement.
Some additional questions or comments?
Well, it's just great to see this project moving forward. It helps address all the issues of students gentrifying neighborhoods and the like, and you're to be commended for making this happen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Additional questions or comments? Comment from me, I did not go to Boston University. I went to DePaul University and lived in a similar structure in Chicago. But it was a really good transition to like adulting life, right? Like and I'm just looking forward that some of the BU students are going to get to experience that. Should this be approved? So with that, a motion is in order.
So moved.
Second.
We'll call for a vote. Ms. Bennett? Aye. Mr. Shepherd?
Aye.
Dr. Landsmark?
Aye.
Mr. O'Malley?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion passes. Thanks so much.
Great. Thank
Good
you very
luck.
much, everybody.
Yeah. All right, so that was 31. We're going to go back to item number 30. Request authorization to issue a certification of approval pursuant to Article 80E Small Project Review of the Zoning Code for the proposed construction of 68 hotel rooms and 14 bicycle parking spaces located at 1767 through 1769 Washington Street and 631 Massachusetts Avenue, also known as the Alexandra Hotel, to enter into a community benefits agreement and to take all related actions. Zoe.
Madam Chair, I think we're having a little bit of a confusion about this. If you give me 30 seconds, I will grab Zoe and make sure she's prepared.
Hey, Zoe.
Hi, I'm so sorry.
It went really fast.
It did.
It was very fast. Okay.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, Director Shen, and Secretary Polhemus. My name is Zoe Schutte, and I'm a project assistant in the Development Review Division of the Planning Department. We're here before you this evening to discuss the proposed Article 80E small project located at 1767 to 1769 Washington Street in Roxbury, also known as the Alexandra Hotel. As you may remember, the Alexandra Hotel has previously undergone the Article 80 review process for a large project approval as a hotel in 2019. In 2021, a notice of project change for change of use from hotel to condo was approved, and in 2024, another MPC was approved to return to hotel use. The most recent MPC was approved with 150 rooms, 13 floors, and 83,500 gross square feet. The project team has secured funding from the state to help restore the historic facade of the hotel. The new funding has allowed them to remove the tower above the historic facade, resulting in the new proposal before you today, which is significantly smaller at 68 rooms, 6 floors, and 39,300 gross square feet. And because of this reduction, it's been reviewed as a new Article 80E small project. The proponent filed a small project review application on March 31st, 2025. A public meeting was held on April 23rd and was advertised in the local newspapers, posted on the Planning Department website, and a notification was emailed to all subscribers of both the Roxbury and South End neighborhood update lists. The public comment period ended on April 30th, and I will now hand it over to my colleague Alana to present the planning context before the development team begins the presentation. Thank you.
Thanks, Zoe. Next slide, please. Oh. All right, I don't know that my slides are in here, but we will just wing it then. Good evening, Chair Rojas, Secretary Polhemus. There we go. Members of the board and Director Shen, my name is Ilana Hames, and I am the planner assigned to this project. The proposed project site is located in the Roxbury Neighborhood District in a multifamily residential/local services subdistrict pursuant to Article 50. Similar proposals for this site, as we just mentioned, have been approved by the BPDA board 3 times in the past. Next slide, please. The current iteration of the project maintains similar conditions and proposed uses, but reduces the height of the project. Thus, this project is met with the same call for zoning relief. Pursuant to Section 7.3, conditions for required variance of the zoning code, the dimensions of this adjacent parcel, which are uncharacteristic for the neighborhood, and the importance of retaining the existing historic building, continue to create conditions consistent with the requirements for variance by the Zoning Board of Appeal. The revitalization of the hotel on site aligns with the provision that the variance is necessary for the reasonable use of land or structure, and given the narrowness of this vacant parcel, a variance is warranted per special circumstances. Next slide, please. The proposed project continues to meet the planning goals of acknowledging the importance of historic preservation as a tool for revitalization and as a source of neighborhood pride and identity as specified by the Roxbury Strategic Master Plan. The proposed project is located within the Coastal Flood Resilience Overlay District, requiring that the first floor elevation be 1 foot above the projected 2070 base flood elevation as anticipated by the Boston Harbor Flood Risk Model. And for this proposed project site, the BFE is 18 feet, requiring a design flood elevation of 19 for this development type. In the previous board-approved project, modifications were made to the development proposal to ensure compliance with CFROD requirements, including the DFE and other flood-proofing measures in accordance with the Boston Coastal Resilience Flood Design Guidelines. Such provisions have been maintained in the current proposal. Other commitments by the previous iterations of this project are continued in this current version, but some such commitments have been appropriately scaled with the reduction in size of the project. After board approval and Zoning Board of Appeal approval of the required zoning relief, the proposed project will continue in design review at the Planning Department. Thank you, and I will turn it over to the development team to present the project in more detail.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair Rojas, Director Shen, Secretary Polimis, members of the board. My name is Pavel Hunts, Development Manager for the Alexandra Partners. Thank you, Zoe and Alona, for the thorough explanation. Our team is here tonight to present the revised design for the Alexandra Hotel. Many of you know this project. It's been in front of this board a few times, been in front of many city agencies a few times as well. So the previous iteration of this project was a 155-room, 83,000 square foot hotel, 13 stories. Our team is now presenting a design that stays within the existing envelope of the building. It's actually more of a restoration of the existing building versus, a tear down of the building behind the facade and an erection of a new building behind it. So the project has excellent momentum now. We are now pursuing historic tax credits as a part of this smaller iteration. Part 2 approval went in at the end of April, and we were just recently in front of the South End Landmarks Commission. Very strong support from the community and also approval from the South End Landmarks Commission for this design. Everything was received pretty well. Through this change, our team has worked closely with city staff to make sure that many of the benefits, the community benefits, the impact on the public realm have stayed the same. This project has gone through many, many layers of review with the city, many, many layers of community meetings. So the intent was to just downsize the project, primarily remove floors 6 through 12, the tower component of the project, and overall the level of support from the community for this change has been extremely strong. So with this, I'll turn it over to D'Artagnan Brown from Embark to walk through the architecture. Thank you.
Thank you, Pav. Good evening, Madam Chair, Director Shen, Secretary Polimis, and members of the board. D'Artagnan Brown, architect from Embark. As mentioned, we're excited to be here tonight. The project certainly had a long journey, and we're at a very important stage now of being able to see this come to life. A couple key things to note. On the plan, you can see the existing hotel structure that, as mentioned, will remain with a full restoration, which allows us to go after the historic tax credits. And the addition that's labeled on page south is essentially following the exact same footprint that was previously approved, sans the tower above. Next slide, please. Architectural elevations on the right, you can see the existing building to remain with the infill addition at the old Ivory Bean site coming in at the same height, with the tower removed above. Next slide, please. And in this slide, this is really focusing on the gem of the project, which will be the restoration of this building, full activation of the ground floor, restaurant retail. And then to the left, you can see the infill design for what will become the hotel entry and access to the 68 rooms. We've worked closely with the staff at the Boston Planning and at the Landmarks Commission to make sure the design is in keeping with the Category A site within the South End, and one that is respectful of the historic nature of the Alexandra. Next slide, please. And then lastly, this is a really great pedestrian view of what it will be like to experience this building. I think everyone is excited to see this come to life. We'll have an activated cafe space at the ground floor restaurant, and then on the left here in the infill addition, kind of paying homage to the architectural elements of the existing building, we'll enter into the hotel with a little local use cafe, back of house support at the rear, and then as we move up through the building, providing full accessibility to all areas of the project. And I think with that, I'd love to answer any questions and appreciate the board's time.
Okay, thank you. All right, questions or comments from the board?
Through the chair, since I might make it home for dinner today, I'll ask a few questions. No. First, looking at that picture, how tall are the ceilings? How high are the ceilings?
So they
Each
vary.
the floors.
Yeah, they vary floor to floor. First floor will be around 14 feet. Then it's anywhere between 10, 11, and 12, depending where we move up. Typically, the parlor levels are a little bit more in height, and then as you go up, they'll get more into the 10 range.
It's a beautiful building, but this project, since the letter of intent, it almost shows the ebbs and flows of the city from, the good, the bad, the ugly, the unpredictable, just from the changes from, what worked for you guys to make this go through. I definitely hope this goes through, and I hope to see this project, come to fruition. It's a beautiful building.
Thank you.
Agreed. It's such an iconic piece of Boston's history to see it revitalized, and it's been a long, long process. It's very, very exciting. So congratulations.
Thank you.
I have a minor aesthetic question. Could you go back to the last slide? I'm curious as to why you used a gray brick rather than a red brick, which would have carried forward with the detailing on the hotel and on the building next to it.
Yeah, that's a great question. So that's actually a metal panel system that's got a laser cut filigree detail that's in front of a spandrel glass panel to kind of cast the shadows. It's picking up a lot of the historic detail that's in the existing building. So it's actually not brick, but it's a 2-layer glass and metal component. So it should have nice reflection, pick up a lot of depth to the facade.
Seems like a better project. Looks good.
Agree.
Yeah. We want to see this one work.
Yeah.
We do too. This is
We're very, very excited with this iteration of the project.
we drive by it all the time and can only imagine it.
No, I know. I drive by and it hurts. Like
Right.
when you see it, you're just like,
Yeah. So
yeah. But this is exciting. This is not hurting. This is like hoping. And again, I know it's been through all of like the processes, and that's what the processes are for, and the input, and like, and I think the support of it is a reflection of the process and kind of, the collaboration and cooperation to get to today. So a motion is in order.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call for a vote. Ms. Bennett?
Aye.
Mr. Shepherd?
Aye.
Dr. Landsmark?
Aye.
Mr. O'Malley?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion passes. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Good luck.
thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much.
Good job. Item number 32, request authorization to disperse $150,000 from the Boston Garden Project Funds to Boston Harbor Now to advance the Harbor Walk 2.0 program and coastal resilience. Aaron?
Thank you, and good evening, Chair Rojas, Secretary Polhemus, and Director Shen, members of the board. I'm here this evening once again to ask you for the permission to allow the director to distribute community benefit funds, once again to a very good cause and a great organization. This being $150,000 from the Boston Garden Project funds to Boston Harbor Now for their Harbor Walk 2.0 program. Let's see. We intend to collaborate with Boston Harbor Now on a series of steps and investments to advance resilient Boston Harbor based on 2030 and 2070 projected flood paths, assist with collecting Chapter 91 licenses for flood path properties, assist with identifying current Harbor Walk surface elevations, assist with developing a city policy requiring new or rehabbed segments of Harbor Walk to be protected from projected 2070 astronomical high tides, advocate for enhanced enforcement of Chapter 91 to require preservation of Harbor Walk for the terms of current Chapter 91 licenses in light of flood risks, advocate for revisions and/or interpretations of state regs to advance coastal resilience projects, engage with Harbor Walk property owners through meetings, newsletters, et cetera, to discuss resilience, maintenance, signage, and owner concerns, and develop a 10-year roadmap for completing Harbor Walk while also addressing coastal resilience. The city will also be providing funds to Boston Harbor Now and Friends of the Boston Harbor Walk for design and installation of historic interpretive signage on planning department and city waterfront properties, including Piers 3 and 4 in the Charlestown Navy Yard. This disbursement will be drawn from public realm contribution made per the Boston Garden Project Master Cooperation Agreement dated December 3rd, 2015. And with that, I'm happy to take any questions from you.
All right, thank you. Questions or comments from the board? Hearing and seeing none, motion is in order.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call for a vote. Ms. Bennett?
Aye.
Mr. Shepherd?
Aye.
Dr. Landsmark?
Aye.
Mr. O'Malley?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion passes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right, item number 33, request authorization to submit applications to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Executive Office of Housing and Economic Development, Mass Works Infrastructure Program, and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities Housing Works Infrastructure Program in support of various projects in the city of Boston, and to enter into a grant agreement with respective development entities and proponents of said projects for the use of funds from the Mass Works and Housing Works Infrastructure Programs. Amina.
Thank you. Good evening again, Madam Chair, members of the board, Director Shin, and Madam Secretary. My name is Amina Scott. I'm the Deputy Comptroller here. I want to say over the past several months, staff across finance, real estate, procurement, transportation, policy review, and dev review have worked together to implement a more inclusive and transparent process for evaluating projects for submission through the Commonwealth's Mass Works and Housing Works infrastructure programs. These programs remain among the most important tools in the state's and city's shared infrastructure toolbox, providing capital for public improvement that support affordable housing, community development, and neighborhood revitalization. This year, for the first time, the BPDA issued a formal expression of interest in February to solicit projects for consideration. The response was overwhelmingly positive, and we are proud that this step brought more visibility, structure, and equity to the process. The proposals we are sharing tonight reflect all of the applications that were reviewed and are still under consideration for submission in FY26. At this time, we are sharing with the board the full set of proposed projects under review for MassWorks and Housing Works. The applicants include 495 Dorchester Avenue, located in South Boston, Boston Water and Sewer Commission lots, the Austin Street Lot Development Project in Charlestown, St. Mary's Center Phase 1 in Dorchester, Art at the Non-Factory in Roxbury, 176 Lincoln Street in Allston, 776 Summer Street in South Boston, 1 Mystic Avenue in Charlestown, Dorchester Bay City in Harbor Point, 465 Columbia Road in Upham's Corner, and the Mission Hill Pathway in Mission Hill. Each of these projects submitted a full application for infrastructure support and remains actively under consideration. This presentation is meant to provide an overview of the process, share all projects submitted, and reflect our commitment to transparency, fairness, and proactive planning. The details of the projects, budgets, and work scopes are included in the memo. Thank you for your time, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Questions or comments from the board? All right. Hearing and seeing none, motion is in order.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call for a vote. Ms. Bennett?
Aye.
Mr. Shepherd?
Aye.
Dr. Lansmark.
Aye.
Mr. O'Malley.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion passes. Thanks, Amina.
Thank you.
Item number 34, contractual. I need a motion to pay the bills.
I move that we pay our bills.
I second that.
Okay, roll call for a vote. Ms. Bennett.
Aye.
Mr. Shepherd.
Aye.
Dr. Lansmark.
Aye.
Mr. O'Malley.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Motion passes. Please pay the bills. And finally, item number 35, director's update. Director Shen, the floor is yours.
Members of the board, I'm happy to provide a summary and report on our board activities today. There were 2 office to residential projects, and these are projects that are going through and completed the Article 80 process, 16 to 18 Hawley Street and 123 North Washington Street. 16 to 18 Hawley Street, also known as 21 Milk Street, will convert what is currently an office downtown into 110 new homes, while maintaining the ground floor retail and post office. The office at 123 North Washington Street will be converted to 45 new homes, with also maintaining the ground floor retail. These 2 projects are 2 of 15 applicants in the mayor's innovative office to residential conversion program, which is on track to create over 760 units of housing, converting 20 vacant office buildings. With tonight's actions, 9 of the 15 projects in the program have completed the development review Article 80 process. Others have gone through the Article 80 process, are now closer to permitting, and one of them will have tenants actually moving in this fall. We'll continue to update you on this exciting program, which is set to result in 1,000 new homes being under construction in downtown by next summer. On the real estate front, I also wanted to highlight tonight that the board awarded final designation to the Garrison Trotter Neighborhood Association to redevelop 2 parcels in Roxbury into a Zen Garden. The Zen Garden will be named for Alma Wright, a retired Boston public school teacher and Roxbury pioneer. The vision of this garden is for it to be an area where students and staff from the nearby Trotter Elementary School and community members can enjoy nature and learn about their community. Congratulations and thank you to the staff who worked with the community on seeing this vision through. We have 3 new development projects that were approved today, totaling 155 residential units, 29 of them will be income-restricted units. The total development cost is estimated to be around $68 million. These projects represent more than 108,000 square feet, of which the majority, 121,000 square feet, will be residential square footage. When constructed, these projects will put approximately 211 tradespeople to work and create close to 180 direct jobs and 106 indirect jobs. So that concludes my report. And thank you again for the great work, and also thank you for the staff for the work that they do in making sure that these continue to have great projects in front of this board.
Great, thank you. Okay, so this concludes the public portion of our agenda today. So our last item on the agenda is a non-public executive session. So the purpose and full transparency of this executive session is to receive updates and discuss strategy with respect to certain litigation, as discussing such litigation strategy in an open meeting could have a detrimental effect to the litigating position of the Boston Redevelopment Authority. After the executive session, we plan to call the meeting back into order and vote to adjourn the meeting, but there will be no further items to be considered. I ask, well, it's kind of already empty, but I ask that the public leave the boardroom at this time, and that the recording and transmission of the meeting be paused, and we'll be moving into executive session. So thank you.